Hey, Ron? Ron or Casey?
Yeah.
Hey, is there another water fixture that just turned on?
I don't think so.
Some other water. Is the dishwasher running?
No.
Oh, okay. New water entered the pipe here randomly, but would you mind just telling?
I was just running the sink in the garage. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's all good. I just wasn't sure if there was going to be more water backing out. Will you just tell Ron not to run anything else?
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. I apologize for talking on the camera. This is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're here at property address 5844 Southwest Boundary Street here in Portland. Located in the crawl space, we got a 3-inch ABS cleanout. This will be the point of access. And this is why, because we're in the crawl space, if we have more water come backing out, it'll empty into the crawl. So that's what I was hollering about at the beginning. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running, and I will zero out right here and refer to this spot as the point of access. Here we go. And here at 11 feet, it transitions over to, I actually believe it's 4-inch cast iron. I was looking into the other crawl space hatch, and it did appear to be a larger diameter than the plastic pipe. Okay, here we're at 88 feet. Actually, we'll call it 89 feet. We're an inch shy of that. It transitions here to 6-inch concrete. And right at the transition joint here, it'll be easier to see when there's no water in the line. I'm looking at the left side of the screen there. I'm having a hard time telling if that's a little tiny root strand or just some other debris. We'll revisit this on the way back. Looks like got a big paper towel or something here in the line. That's the reason you don't want to flush paper towels and stuff like that down the pipe, is they end up saturating with so much water that they weigh too much for the flush to keep them moving. And there's another spot here on the left side of the screen. Looks like some debris has packed up against the sidewall there. I don't see any root strands or anything poking out of it. I don't see any root strands protruding from the joint, so that does appear to just be some debris that's caught on the pipe there. Unfortunately, if there were to be roots underneath that, I wouldn't be able to see them unless the line were to be cleaned out to remove that and to see if there's anything underneath. Generally, you can see root strands poking out if they're underneath something like that. And here at 100 feet exactly, we have reached the main lateral out on Boundary Street. I'm going to get the water turned off so we can have a little bit clearer picture of the line on the way back. But as far as the functionality of the line goes, the line is functioning properly at this time. I'm just going to make sure that there's nothing hiding under the water line, make sure there's no roots anywhere. But if there are any roots, they're so tiny right now they're not affecting flow. But anyway, I'm going to go shut the water off. We'll reel back here in a moment. Alrighty, pretty much all the water is now drained out of the line. I'm going to go ahead and start reeling back here. Yeah, looking at this one more time here, I'm looking at that kind of white clump there on the side of the pipe wall. Again, I don't see roots protruding from the joint, which is where they generally come from. It does appear to just be some debris, but there is always the possibility that roots have come through the sidewall. I think it's unlikely in this situation, but if that's something you're interested in finding out, you'd have to drain clean the line to actually get underneath that. But again, I don't see any root strands poking out of it. I've already seen one pretty good size. Looked like a paper towel in the line. It could just be another one of those that just got stuck to the side of the pipe. Alright, so as I'm coming back here and taking a closer look at this, it looks like the joint here or the transition joint has separated some. I'm not sure why they've got these kind of lumps of concrete here. At least that's what they look like. It's possible that's just debris that's stuck there and kind of hardened in place. But it does look like the concrete. When you've got a separated joint like this, you can see how the water kind of runs down into that separation. That could be allowing water to seep out into the ground. And that little tiny thing that's poking up from the left side of the screen there, that could be the start of a little tiny root intrusion. It's really hard to discern right now. And it looks like that right there, those lumps is what caused that rag, I think, to get caught there. that and the separation in the joint. It looks like for the most part the line is very clean. There was that one rag or paper towel on the line, but those generally will get stuck in just about any sewer pipe no matter how well they work. But it looks like those little lumps there were part of the reason that got hung up, and also because there is a gap here in the pipe. What I don't know is if it's opened up enough to allow water to seep out. It's possible that is a root, the start of a tiny root that's come through there. So if the buyers are concerned about it, you could refer this off to a plumbing repair contractor, see what they think, and I will mark it in the event that they want to get this taken care of, because that could cause debris to get built up. But there was just that one paper towel. Looks like for the most part everything else is shooting past this point without issue, but again, if that joint is opened up enough, and I can't see down into it unfortunately, it could be allowing water to seep out into the ground. It's very hard to discern, but it's entirely possible given the fact that it's separated there. And if you were to do a repair here, this would probably be an ideal spot to do a sleeve rather than to excavate. It'd be much cheaper and very simple to do. So that would take care of that separated joint there. So I will go mark this with a white X if the buyers are concerned about getting that repaired. But again, the line is functioning at this time, but there are issues like this that they can get worse over time, and if it's separated enough, you could get roots coming through there. So I just wanted to point that out. That's something that would be likely down the road as the line continues to age, but again, on the side of the screen there, you see that little white thing sticking up. That could be the start of a root. It's so tiny right now that it's impossible to say for certainty. It almost looks like a root or like a tiny little sprout that's just started to grow. Alrighty, went ahead and marked this. It's out just, maybe 3 feet or so short of the street. It's difficult to see where the actual street begins, as there's a concrete parking spot that butts right up against the street, so you can't see the difference between the driveway and the street itself. But because it's just transitioned here to concrete, and this is Multnomah County, the county takes over at the right-of-way or anything in their street area. So I would recommend contacting them to find out if this is would be their issue to deal with. Generally, when you get out to this point, it switches to concrete. This is often where the city takes over responsibility. So I would check into that and just let them know about the separated joint. It's something that could turn into a larger issue given time. And again, if that joint is allowing water to seep out into the ground, it would pose a risk of erosion over time if that's getting out into the ground. I'm going to go ahead and keep reeling back the camera here. What's great about this line, though, is it's cast iron pipe all the way out to the edge of the property. Cast iron pipe holds up for a very long time. It's an excellent product. Were this all made out of concrete like most houses are, it's likely that we would have root intrusion in many of the joints, given the amount of foliage that's off to the side of the property. And that where I marked it with a white X at that separated joint once again, and it was at 9 feet deep, right around there. Now, when you get down to those depths, especially with power lines overhead that can interfere with the signal, that depth could be off by a little bit. But with a depth like that, sleeving is an even better option. It would likely save you probably about 50% repair cost to sleeve versus excavate. Now I'm just about to pull the camera head out of the line here. We've got good flow all the way out to the main lateral. Apart from that separated joint, the line is functioning at this time.